ANON or 8 a.m. in the morning.
Man, what's happening, man? This is my business. You know I'm not man, I got PA's finest with me, man. Let's go. Let's go, son.
Flex on, I'll murder your next song. Flex on, high school had a special effects on.
Yo, what's good, y'all? No Mercy, Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com, NoMercyTV Podcast. I know what time it is. Electromagnetic Force Field Professor Xavier, whatever you want to call this guy with the super long name. You understand now? Electronica, he dropped his album last week, a written testimony. The album we've been waiting about, 10, 11 years for? Ever since Exhibit C. He been dropping little tracks here and there. You understand? A track I really feel is like underrated is the joint with him and Prodigy. It's called Call of Duty. I think that record is super fire. I like Jay Electronica's content and how he raps. Like, he really talked that elite level God shit. Like, and I feel like, honestly, he kind of above Hove in certain ways as far as like, when you're talking just skill, he's on the level that Hove is. But I feel like when it comes to content and the type of stuff he talks about that's on a higher level as far as consciously and mentally, I think Jay Electronica has like that perfect, like he walks the line between that punchline rap that we love so much from like the Fabs, the Cassidys and stuff, but at the same time, he's talking with a certain level of knowledge to where you catch the knowledge, but it's intertwined with, the content that we regularly enjoy. You understand? So, his way of just bringing those two worlds together, I feel like he's the first person to really do that like that. You understand? He just talks on a different level. Now, if you've listened to those records like Call of Duty, Exhibit C, then you would have probably went into this album with certain expectations of like, yo, he's gonna come like that. But I felt like this album, he didn't really get a chance to. You understand? And it's a few things that I think were wrong with it being Jay Electronica's debut album, and the biggest thing is it's pretty much a joint album with Hove. You understand? Like, I don't see how you say this is my first album that I'm about to drop and pretty much almost the entire album is Hove features. That's too big of a gamble. That's too big of a gamble because now you have a whole nother fan base that are going to come here just for Hove, and they're automatically out the gate going to say Hove slapped you around in this record, whether he did or not, just because it's Hove. You understand? Now, I'm going to keep it a buck. I feel like when I'm listening to this album, I feel like Jay is getting more points because he got to the point better on his verses. When he's talking, it's not layered, it's not subliminal, it's very direct, almost to the point that he's spoon feeding you. Like, he's rapping well, don't get it twisted, but he's just straight giving it to you, where Jay Elect is more, it's more deep thought. It's more layers to it. It's more stuff that you really got to try and dig through to really get the message. And I don't think that really works well when you're going to get somebody who's such an elite level rapper and able to give you something that's, you know, so easy to digest. It's like, it's just like being given, you know, certain food that it tastes great, it's easy to digest, but then you got the other food that's like, it tastes all right, but then it's still, you know, kind of tough to digest at the same time. It's like, you know, so for that to happen with his debut project is just, you know, I didn't feel like that was a good look for him. My favorite tracks, I would say The Ghost of Soulja Slim, crazy, like super crazy. That was fire. And I actually like the Flux Capacitator, something like that, however you say that shit. I actually like that record. You understand? But overall, I feel like it was a good project. It's not classic, you know, it's something with a little bit of replay value. But I do feel like this isn't what I was expecting from a Jay Electronica project. You understand? Especially not a debut. And after waiting all this time, it's like you pretty much got the layup. Like, this the thing. When I judge artists by their bodies of work. You understand what I'm saying? What can you do when it's just you sitting in the studio, your producers? What can y'all put together with just you on it? Yeah, you might have a feature here, a feature there. Cool. But to have a whole album full of whole features, like, nah. I don't think that was a good idea at all. You understand? It's like when people say Andre 3000 is like top 10 or whatever. If you want to give it to him in the rapping ability category, cool. But we haven't heard a solo Andre 3000 project. The closest we got to that was, I guess, the Speaker Box Love Below, which was, it was 2 separate albums packaged as one. We haven't seen what Andre 3000 can do by himself. You understand? We've seen what Big Boy can do by himself. Big Boy has dropped a couple of albums on his dolly. You know, outside of the Outkast projects. You understand? Outside of the Speaker Box Love Below joint. He has solo projects. We able to see what he do when he just pick up a pen, go in the booth, get his producers in, you know, do his thing. But we haven't seen that from 3 Stacks yet. You know, so I'm thinking that's something that, you know, we need to see. So we have to, when we're critiquing and ranking these rappers, we have to rank them based on what can you do on a solo project. You know, and for Jay Electronica, this ain't even throw him in the conversation because you got Hove all over the joint. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, I felt like it was cool. You know, the mixing definitely could have been better. Production could have been a little bit better. You know, I think it kind of was lacking on that side. You know, lyric-wise, you're never going to get really lackluster rapping from these two. You understand? You got to count it as a J / Jay Electronica project because it's not just one person on it rapping. You understand? So, you know, this project is just like, I don't know what he thought he was doing with this, but this didn't prove a thing. You know, all the people that might have felt like Jay Electronica was one of the greatest, he's a lead, and, you know, stuff like that, this wasn't what I was expecting. You understand? It's cool. It's a good project, I guess, to rock out to, but if we're going to start, you know, throwing Jay Electronica in that conversation of, oh, he's one of the greats, he's one of them dope rappers, then he going to have to give us something else, because this ain't it. It's not it, Chief. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all thought about the project. Do y'all think it was a good idea for him to go in his first project with Hove? Let me know, you know, y'all thoughts on the whole situation, and I'll holler at y'all soon, man. No Mercy, Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. I'll see y'all soon.